some simple movement, we can now drive around, but it's extremely slippery since we don't have any friction. We can fix this though by simulating the friction force in the lateral direction of the wheel, and it now works like a charm. As long as you don't go too fast, don't do that. So instead of flipping over, the car should just drift. Now this can be done pretty easily by just adding some arcade gameplay, but if you know me, you know I like physics, and physics make me go yes. So I want to simulate every single wheel realistically, which it should be pretty easy.
Damn, that's a long time. Now I know what you're thinking, and I can explain.
Did we just save this?
1, 2, 3 to the 4. Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at the door, ready to make an entrance. So back on up. Before I get strap up, give me the microphone so I can bust like a bubble. Hopping in low bass together, now you know you in trouble. Yeah, antidote point. I think they in the mood for another one of those G hits. Cause they snap with a chick thing. Back to low FG, so the crazy. That's punk in the label, that's crazy. Unfadable, so please his squad.
Listen, I'm black and I'm gay and I love Donkey.
Hey, SC and double low.
Where's up?
So just chill to the next episode.
Oh my god, that was beautiful!
They made you weak.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Yo, this dude's still alive. In today's episode, we'll be making a video game. For this project, I'm planning on making a fairly simple beat-em-up game. I say simple now, but I'm expecting this to go horribly wrong in the future. First, I decided that I would want the player and enemies to be 2D sprites within a 3D environment. The default 3D side-scroller player character wasn't what I was looking for, so I replaced it with the player character from the 2D side-scroller template. Next was to replace the default sprite with my own. However, I don't have one yet. Luckily, there are plenty of free Why does that say plent? God, I can't spell. Luckily, there are plenty of free assets on itch.io, so I decided to grab this one off of there to use temporarily. I uploaded the sprite sheets, created the flipbook for them, and replaced the default sprite with the new one that I got from itch. From there, I started working on the attack animation, and that's when I learned Unreal isn't as developed with 2D than it is with 3D. The first obstacle I came across was that I did not know how to detect when a specific animation is finished. I searched around online, and what I found seemed a bit too complicated for my small brain, so I created a temporary way of letting the game know when the player's animation is complete. After that was done, I created a basic enemy, imported the sprite following the same steps as the player, again grabbing a free asset off of itch temporarily for testing purposes. This is the one. I'm using this one. After importing the sprites, I started to realize small problems that will get bigger as the project continues, so I decided to take a break and work on something else. Originally, what I had envisioned was the camera would be in a fixed location, and the player is limited in that area that the camera can see. When the player walks off the screen towards the next area, the camera pans over, showing the next level. I may not have described it that great, but I'm sure the video footage that is showing you will help you understand what I'm trying to say. One of the first issues I had to figure out was how to make the player move to a specific location when transitioning to the level. That was pretty simple. I created an actor that works as the location that the player will move to when transitioning. The tricky part was disabling the player's input so they couldn't move the character while in transition. I was having a hard time figuring out how to do this because the disable input node wasn't actually working. That's when I learned about the cinematic node, which was exactly what I was looking for, and the issue was solved. Currently, the enemies have a pretty basic AI system in place, a little too basic. How it works is that every tick, the enemy will move to the current location of the player, but I know in the future this will cause problems. Unreal Engine has a feature called behavior trees, which is much more useful when trying to create a better enemy AI system thing, so I decided to do that. I've used the behavior tree system before on other projects, so instead of creating one from scratch, I decided to grab an existing one from another project I have. After copying and pasting everything where it needs to be, the enemy AI now works properly with no problems at all. That's a problem. So that's what I have so far. I plan on continuing making updates every week or so. So I guess subscribe and say hi or whatever. I don't know. So maybe it's up to you. If you have any ideas or solutions for the issues I've brought up, please leave a comment and tell me how much I suck and why I was wrong. Other than that, thanks, I guess. Okay, bye.